Hello. Now, sadly, we've got to walk on eggshells one more time and talk about a story related to the Charlie Kirk incident. Now, I've already spoken on this in a live stream and how tragic it was and how political violence is unacceptable, but now don't click away because this is a local story that you haven't seen in the news, something that happened in my town related to violence, related to free speech, bomb threats in my neighborhood. All right, so let's talk about it. I'm not going to be talking about what town I live in. I'm not going to be mentioning people by name, but I am going to be paraphrasing the events that took place and how it relates to the national news story. And I'm interested what you guys think about it because it is kind of disturbing to me all in all. And I wonder what the implications of it all are for all of us here in the United States. All right, so we all know Charlie Kirk was assassinated in a terrible, terrible, tragic incident. And the guy has been caught, apprehended, but there was a lot of weird vitriolic stuff going on in the news right after it happened, and there were some people having terrible takes and celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. And while you could be happy he's off the air, I don't think it's good to wish ill on people that are just commentators in the sense of like physical violence against them. And this is where we have to ask ourselves, is our free speech so powerful that we could threaten people with violence? Because I feel like there are actual laws. There are laws to keep us from doing that to each other. But it seems like the line is being blurred right now on like what actually is violence. Can people be stochastic with their terrorism? Stochastic terrorism being like when somebody will constantly keep like talking about this group of people that's doing something and then somebody goes out and does something violent against them. That's kind of what the Republicans are talking about if they're blaming this on left-wingers for but they always deny that stochastic terrorism is actually a thing. So anyway, let's talk about this. I live in a liberal state, but in a conservative city within that state. And there's a lot of people that really love a lot of conservative stuff and Charlie Kirk and all of that stuff in this area. So when the situation happened, then there were people, like I said, having bad takes, and some of them were in my town. Some liberals, just like some conservatives, are really aggressive and like fu in the way that they promote their ideas, and it could be off-putting to a lot of people, and sometimes it is really rude. I feel like the way that people are operating, regardless of whether I feel like their take is the correct take or not, you still should be civil in the way that you're engaging with people, I feel like, and be respectful. So a woman who's a small business owner in my town was being disrespectful on Facebook. I don't have a Facebook, but I do use the app Nextdoor because I sell plants to my community there, plant starts during the growing season, just vegetables and stuff. Just that's what I do on Nextdoor. So I'll be on there to check my messages, see if anyone's trying to buy plants, whatever, and I'll scroll a little bit while I'm on there, and I sometimes see some really weird political stuff. So I noticed that this small business owner was being put on blast for having said something insensitive about Charlie Kirk on Facebook. And I saw the posts because they had taken a screenshot of their Facebook post and posted it on Nextdoor, which is pretty conservative in my area. So the Nextdoor community got really riled up about this, and next thing you know, there's a bunch of people leaving negative reviews on this business. And okay, I don't know about review bombing. I feel like that kind of stinks sometimes, even though sometimes you feel like, yeah, they got what was coming, but at the same time, review bombing sucks because it keeps us from being able to actually get honest reviews of the places in town. So that could be frustrating when people that have never even been to an establishment start reviewing it negatively, but that's not where I have an issue. My issue here is that people got so upset at this woman exercising her right to free speech, in my opinion, because as far as I'm concerned, that's what we're allowed to do, is say things that are offensive, but not threatening. So I don't even know if these were Charlie Kirk defenders, so I'm not going to put that on them, but some people pretending to be offended by this liberal woman's rage post, I guess, about how Charlie Kirk deserved it or something. So people got upset at that and started putting bomb threats to her business, which resulted in the police having to show up because of the bomb threats. And this is where we end up in a boy who cried wolf situation, because I don't really think those bomb threats were credible. But how are we supposed to filter through credible and non-credible bomb threats? So as soon as you start threatening people, I just feel like you've totally breached out of the realm of free speech, and you're just into violence. You're just being a criminal at that point. And so I just want to ask you guys, where do you think these people are crossing the line to do bomb threats at a business owner just because they said something that they deemed was offensive? Because I know a lot of people are saying stuff that people think is offensive on the internet all the time, but I don't think that warrants them having bomb threats. You can boycott their business, you can spread the word, you can shit talk them all you want, but don't threaten people. It's crossing the line, and I'm just not seeing enough of a pushback about this, I don't feel like. There was another business owner that, like, their wife went on a tangent about it, and then everybody's also putting that business on blast, and it just keeps going. People just want something to attack right now, and so it seems like, yeah, people are getting doxxed, people are getting bomb threats, and to me, that's crossing the line. Don't threaten people, don't dox people. Talk crap all you want, but when it turns into this, the crap talking on the internet blows up because it goes viral, and then from that, I feel like nefarious actors get involved, and they're like, ooh, this thing's going viral, let's stir the pot, and they just make it so much worse. And I don't know if those are the people that are calling in these bomb threats, but honestly, hopefully they find some of these people, because I don't want to live in a community where people are just threatening each other with violence all the time. I think there should be a line drawn on talking shit and making threats of physical violence. So I just wanted to circle back on that, because I did talk about what a terrible tragedy this was and how nobody should be in support of it. But still, we have free speech in this country, and I personally feel like we should be able to burn the flag. That was one of the free speeches I grew up with, but they took that away. So now, if we're not allowed to say things about people that we didn't agree with, that might be deemed negative by supporters of that person, potentially. That's a scary world, and hopefully it's not the one that we're slowly careening towards, or I should say quickly. All right, stay safe out there, respect each other. Let's stop the violence. I don't know.